What's the topic?
Are you ready?
I am ready. What's the topic?
Okay, before we go into the topic, right? I want to make a call back to the last episode which we did, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the restoration. I think maybe there was one more that came in between. And I feel like maybe you have a point.
What's my point?
I feel like maybe I kind of get it.
Oh.
Because I just came back from Barcelona now 1 week ago.
Hmm.
And before I left, Amma, my mother, your wife, she had a surgery. There was a lot of things that were stressing me out, making me worried. I had like my draft submission for my dissertation. I just had so many things going on. And then like the surgery went well, thank God. When I went to see my professor, she told me that like they had moved the deadline, so I had an extra week, and she said, "No, you submit it today and you don't do any more work. You've done enough.
Wow.
Go and enjoy your trip." And I was like, I'm Asian. Like, you've given me some feedback. Like, I need to edit and then submit. When I went to Barcelona, I saw my friend Gail. She's my bestie, whatever. And it was just Friday to Tuesday. Short. It was just a few days. But we just like, it wasn't restoring in the sense of like I was sleeping a lot, I was resting. No, like we were doing stuff like we went to go to a movie, then we went to go into this picnic, and we went this and that and this and that, and then we went to the beach. But when I came back, I felt that like all the like, if you know you're like in your like on your like dashboard, all the little levels, everything was like in like orange, then everything became green again. And I felt like, oh, okay, I can do this. I can get back into it. And then when I was leaving, I was standing at the door and I was like, I had such a good time. And she was like, you know what? I feel like I can live my life now. I feel like I can do it. I was like, yeah, I feel like I can do it too. We got this. And I'll see you again next time. And then we'll feel as refilled again next time.
I think I will add this, Apshy. I think latently, maybe, I don't know whether it's for everyone, latently we are flowing somewhere. We are moving somewhere. We are growing to somewhere. Like if it's a relationship, you're looking forward to it becoming more. And sometimes it gets dampened. It gets whacked.
Yeah.
And maybe when you restore, you again get up and say, let's flow. I think it's about actualizing what can be, actualizing the potential. Sometimes we get dampened. And then you get up and say, okay, I'm back. Let's do this. But if you don't measure it, you don't restore it, after some time it disappears, I think majority of humanity, it disappears. Like a young enthusiasm or the excitement. Like lately, I found painting again, after so many years, I'm like painting day and night. And like I found it back. I'm like, oh my God, which I started as a kid. And over time, it got lost and other things became important. Like I'm like, I can't wait to paint. I'm like, oh my God, that fire is restored. And I think without that, the fuel for living is absent, isn't it? So I think one has to keep an eye on this very carefully, because it can erode without you knowing it's not there. Then
because we can get so used to being like miserable.
Yeah.
Like it's like very, it's almost like it's amazing if you're too exhausted and working too much and you have no energy. Like, oh, good. Then you're subscribing to capitalism, like. I don't know, when I was at the beach with Gil, we were just lying there. We were just sitting in the ocean, letting it take us back and forth. And then I just turned and looked at her. We both started laughing. She was like, this is life, baby. I was like, life is worth living.
I think you have to go into this more and talk more on this, Apshy. This restoration is one of the most important things. I think we lose it, we get distracted, we get eroded, then we get by. If you take a relationship, two people get together to live that more, right? After some time, you're arguing about this or just getting by or making breakfast or something.
And I think there's also something about, like, at least this thing that I have with Gil, because I've continuously felt this way with her. I'll go and visit her and I'll come back and I'll feel inspired. I'll feel, okay, I can do it. I can, like, keep going. I can be strong, like, all of that. But it also comes because we are not living together. If she lives in London, we won't have the same friendship. It will still feel every time I see her, I feel better and all of that. But the way we can like really like, you know what, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna be my happiest self, I'm gonna be my best self, I'm gonna spend 5 days together. And then you also do it for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's because that person is
No,
not
but I've
in
I've
this.
met Gil. Around Gil, you can be yourself. There are people you cannot be yourself. They
I mean,
block you. That's Gil.
that's the process of finding your friends.
Friendly. With that person, you can rejuvenate. You can wake up. You can believe again. That person will hold you. Gil is I like Gil.
I like Gil too. Okay. Well, anyway,
what's the subject
let's
today,
get
madam?
I just wanted to say that perhaps you have a point.
Perhaps. Just remotely. Maybe. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. So, I was talking to you a bit about this because I was trying to figure out what topic we should get into, right? And I think I want to talk about this idea of being very tender, being very soft, being very and how it's like a good thing, but how it's also like a bad thing. Like you always say this about me, I'm very naive.
Yep.
I don't even think of myself as a naive person because I think I have some street smarts. But then like I catch myself and I'm like, oh, just because I would never do that doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't do that. Because I would never think like that doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't think like that.
That's the
I think
blindness.
there's a lot of people very disappointed because they feel like they try to keep their hearts very soft. Or they don't like, I don't even know how to make myself that hard. And so like, firstly, like, what do you think of it? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing? Do you think there's a time and place for it? All of that. And then how do you deal with it? Like, how do you deal with the world being super tender?
I think you must have somehow, if I'm responding to it, my initial response is, you must be tender. There has to be a soft spot. It has to be soft. You just have to have enough protection that he doesn't get wounded. You know? I think we should be naive but not stupid. We should be innocent but not unintelligent, right? I think you have a need to protect that part of you, because it can get wounded. It's yeah. So I don't think I have any opinion about it. I think we all supposed to be tender and gentle and soft and kind but I think you have to have boundaries. Maybe that's a word. You have to have somehow that you protect yourself to, but not to protect yourself to the extent you kill it. A lot of people think the only way to protect yourself is not to have gentleness, not to have tenderness. I think that is suicide. Right? Like, I never want to be nice to anybody again. I never want to be a nice person or something. I think that is an error. That's a reaction. I think you have an obligation to hold yourself in a way that you create a safety for you to be tender and gentle. And I think that requires a lot of attention, a lot of being aware. Because once you get wounded, you recoil,
Yeah.
Then you think being gentle is stupid. Like being kind. Do you know, for a lot of people, if you're a kind person, you're stupid. Because they can take advantage of you, right? And if that gets through, you don't want to be stupid, you're going to kill your kindness. And once you kill your kindness, you lose a sensitivity which will make life very hard to live.
Yeah, because I think, do you think most people start out very tender-hearted?
I don't know. I can speculate. I suppose so. As a child, I'm not sure. But this I will go into it. If you lose the tenderness, you lose something incredible about you. If you lose it, if you lose gentleness, you lose something precious. You lose a sensitivity. But most tenderness and kindness comes with a great cost, right?
Yeah.
So, how? So I think there has to be some awareness. Sorry?
It's like you have your belly exposed.
Yes, you have your belly exposed. But you must know how to hold yourself in a way that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because the hurt will translate in you condemning. Like, can you imagine you trust somebody and then they hurt you, then you never trust anybody for the rest of your life? Now you are living without trust. That's painful. And people tend to do that to you. People tend to take advantage. People tend to become unaware. Let's say you go into a relationship, you bank on everything on the relationship, you give everything you got, and suddenly you realize there's nothing there. The translation is, I never want to go there again.
Yeah.
And what I want to point out is it's an error.
The reaction.
No, but it's an error. But that's the reaction most will go through, isn't it? Never again. I'm never going to do that again. And they block it out. And then suddenly they feel a major sensitive part of their life is missing. I have a feeling you must be tender and strong at the same time. You must be trusting and also someone who can act at the same time. You cannot have one part without the other. You let somebody in. If they misbehave, out. You also must have the capacity to drop. It's like this. If you can get attached to somebody, you must also be able to detach. If not, your attachment is an imprisonment. You get attached, now they can do anything to you. So I think you have to balance out. So if you talk about being tender and being gentle, is that what you're saying? You also must have the counter. If not, it's not balanced. Right? I want to be good, but I also must not be stupid. But a lot of people, I think the error of a lot of people is they get into this messed up philosophy. I just want to be open, I want to flow. This is the new age bullshit. I want to love and light. And then they get hammered. And then being gentle and tender becomes wrong. Like to trust is stupid in this day and age. To be open is to invite slaughter. And then eventually we create a society that doesn't want to be open, doesn't want to trust, and then everything collapses. So you want to take refuge in one part, you don't want to take responsibility for it, isn't it?
Me?
No, not you. Most people. I'm exposing the belly, the softest part of...
Yeah.
But I also must know how to defend myself, right?
Yeah.
I think the responsibility is missing.
I think because, at least for me personally, right, I feel like the opposite of it is like bitterness, being bitter, being angry.
No,
and I don't want to be that.
No, that's you're beautifully said. The opposite is not bitter. The opposite is you have discrimination ability. You can call something. You don't hesitate to call it. And this is what you must define, Apshy. Tenderness, what is the opposite? It's not cold, hard. Tenderness must come with what? Discrimination, awareness, must come with discernment. So we have to equip it with right ingredient, right?
Yeah.
I think it's missing. We over-romanticize it. And also we abuse it. All I have to do is be open. Life will be good. Really? All I have to do is just trust. And that's a way of escaping. Like, you are a nice person. You like everybody. You believe in everybody. But I think it's also a laziness to meet the reality of life. There's also killers and thieves and murderers and drillers out there.
Yeah.
I think the struggle is, how can I live in this world, at the same time survive me? Like I always say, I don't need a perfect world. I can survive this world. I can be in this world exactly how it is. They bomb children, they hike price, they do whatever they want to do, and still maintain my humanity. If not, your humanity dies.
I mean, like, I feel like the easiest way for me to think about it with myself is like when I did the Book Effect project, like I grew very, very jaded in the first few years about how NGOs projects are run, corporates and this and that. A lot of it just grossed me out. And I would always feel very sad when I saw the children. So I would just I would half the time I'd be like, lovely to meet you. We'll let you know what we can do, and then go back in my car and sit and cry for 10 minutes, and then be like, okay, let's keep going.
No, this is when you must come into action, darling.
But I never lost it though.
No,
I
but
did
because you came into action.
I saw a lot.
Yeah,
I saw a lot.
You did.
And I never stopped crying, but I never stopped doing it either.
That's the key. That means you kept your sensitivity, but you also was not crippled by it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like almost good people always get abused, right? You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think this is a very important subject because this has not been addressed. We have been exaggerated. I really think if you want to be a loving person, you also must be a tough person. If you want to be a good person, you also must have qualities that will support that. If not, you will crumble in it. Then eventually you condemn yourself for having such quality. I should have never trusted. I should have never given myself. And then...
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, and then you're working against it.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, for me, I always just like personally, right? Because I bring up this topic because I feel like it's like a very new, probably for everybody else who knows me, they're like, yeah, this is true. This is not something I realized about myself. I've known myself for, 29 years now, did not realize this. And like Gil, she said to me, you're very tender-hearted. And so I'm going to tell you this. This is not a criticism. I want you to know this, so you don't sit in that, and you can move on. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And I was like, oh, because for me it's like, if a relationship ends, we loved, we grew, we changed, we tried, it didn't work out. But some people are like, F you, I hate you, and I'm like, I'm in shock. I can't believe it. Why do you think like that?
No, this is when you move to protect your innocence. You move to protect your tenderness. You move to protect. If not, you will get wounded and you will condemn it. You know what I'm saying?
But I think it's like now because I'm older, I'm not as sad that other people are not like this. I'm still a bit shocked, of course. But I'm like, okay, but that's not my reality. That's not going to be me. That's never going to be me. I don't want to end up bitter and like that.
And how do you process so you don't end up becoming bitter? You must be able to call it.
I just feel you have to, people don't want to, the way, at least this is my opinion, the way to stay tender-hearted, to stay soft and all that, is you acknowledge that things meant something to you and it didn't work out. Or you acknowledge that you wanted it and you got it, and so you're genuinely happy for yourself. Or you didn't get it and you're sad, but it's okay. You don't kind of villainize and get angry at what didn't work out. You can be sad and you can accept it. You can be angry for a while as well. But I feel like there's a way to like go through it versus getting angry with it.
I think you are saying it. We have to find ways to go through it. Well said. And the way to go through it is not to ruin this beautiful quality, not to condemn it. I'm saying in the world, being gentle, being open, being kind has been made a weakness. And that's the error. It's not weakness. It's the greatest treasure of being a human. But the way when we get assaulted, that's what happens, isn't it?
Mm.
So we have to find a way to go through it. And that's worth looking into. If not, we lose our humanity. Like being innocent, trusting is one of the most beautiful qualities. Let's say that's disappear. What happens? Humanity loses some of its best qualities, So like what you said, we must find a way to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
That we are restored again. We are back, trusting. Isn't it? Like let's say you had a long-term friend and the friendship ends. Do you think you're going to start another friendship that easily? Come on. Then we end up just using each other as a means to an end.
And also you have to accept that friendship that came to an end was a unique experience. You're not going to recreate it. That was that. This is something else,
No, I think it's a point of maturity, darling. It didn't come to an end. It matured. It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yep.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's matured. You needed to go through that to mature, move on, and hopefully it didn't change any of your core values. You see, the problem is,
sometimes I feel like it ended because it started to change core values.
Maybe. You see,
and it's okay.
What I'm fighting for, Apshy, when you're 60 years old, I hope to see Aisha. I don't know whether I'll be around, but I want to still see Aisha. I still want to see that kid, that innocent, that beauty, with all the intelligence and growth. Not that at 60 I look at you and I can't see that person anymore. You see, most people, you know what is tragic? You can't see the child anymore. I like what Jesus said. No? He was like a child shall enter my kingdom of God. That means he's expecting it to survive. Sometimes you see somebody, all that is there is just a cunning mechanism. Where is that person? Where is that human?
Yeah.
You know? Like, have you seen a kid, how it comes and hug you and say hi? Zayn just left all of them. Bye, Dada. I hope when they are 50, it is still there. But the tragedy is it disappears, you know. And it happens very quietly, and we think we are maturing. We think we are becoming smart. We think we are becoming intelligent. So this is a very important subject, you know. Maybe your audience must, or our audience must listen to say, am I intact or am I wounded? Or am I distorted? Have I lost my values? Have I lost me?
Yeah, there's so many people you meet, right? And you just feel this like, this is a wall. Like, hello, who's in there? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, let's have a real conversation. Like, I hate that. Because what's the point? How are you ever going to connect with someone?
No,
even
but
on
during
whatever
the
level,
process,
or
something
even
happened.
just a chit-chat level.
No,
Sorry?
During the process, something happened. They start condemning their own innocence, their own tenderness, their own gentleness, their own curiosity, their own kindness. And then they will block it out. Do you see what I'm saying? And then suddenly life is no more juicy. Life is not alive. This is worth addressing. I don't think we're going to find a solution in this discussion, but we can move in that direction. I want to keep my innocence. I want to be that boy that from a fishing village who came out curious and want to explore and want to do things. If I lose that, I lose a big part of me, isn't it? So I think it is your joy. There's a word, you know, called tabula rasa. You go back to your original state. Tabula rasa, the clean slate. You come back again. There's a very beautiful word in the inner work, that I come back to me again. You know, I come back to my original state again. And I think what I want to address, you have brought it up, you know, how important that is for well-being. Because once I lose it, it's gone. Once I lose it, it's gone. And if it's not there, a major ingredient is missing for life to be beautiful. I think what you have managed to do is retain it. I think you have fought to keep it at a great cost. You know, I think you have fought to keep it. You are fighting to keep that natural state as a child, because I can still see that. Maybe we just have to find better ways, more intelligent ways for you to come back to you, you know. I wish I still had this, you know. When I first came to Kuala Lumpur, I'm like, bright eye. I'm a bit older. I've done so many things. I wish to get up like that again. Like, wow, I want to go there. I want to check this out. I want to do this, you know. I want to explore this. I want to find out about this. And I think if you don't retain it, it's like what Socrates did. And I tell this story here. Socrates is going to be killed tomorrow. He was sentenced to death. That night he was staying with someone who was playing the harmonica. And he told the guy, teach me. He said, are you nuts? They're going to kill you tomorrow. He said, no, that's how I've lived. That means he's saying, I have retained it, right? Apshy? But my instinct says you have to protect yourself. And in the idea of protecting, am I ruining it, is something I must question. But I want to keep my innocence. I want to keep my trust. I want to love. I want to believe. I want to bring people in. I must protect myself that I don't get assaulted, that I lose that. Because once I lose that, I am saying I will not give me that, and that's tragic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's every person's responsibility.
Because I feel like there are some people I've seen, right? They look to keep their innocence, but in a very childlike way. That's not like they don't want to be an adult. They want to stay. I'm just a baby. I'm just a child. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. It's like, okay, sure, but I feel like they're not the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
And being immature or being like a baby is not the same thing.
Hey, why don't you write a book on this? Why don't you? This is a good subject. Get a couple of people get together, write on this.
I've got nothing to write. I've got nothing to say.
No, just this exploration is good. Or do a PhD.
Oh, Jesus.
PhD is good.
No, because I do feel like we are also like, I don't know. I know that in society we are told to be very strong, very this, very that, very this, very that. It's not something I have necessarily felt that I had to do, but it's something that a lot of people feel like they have to do. Also, like, some people, they have like really like bad home lives. They've had a very tough start. Like, it's very hard to retain or even find it, right? How do you find it?
No, I don't know whether I'm on point, Apshy. Just something occurred to me. My martial art master, his name is Part 1. He's one of the toughest guy I know. And I said, amazing human being. But the most gentle and loving and kind man. He's like, he can take people on. He's strong. But he's the most gentlest human being. And I think because he's that tough, that's why he can survive his gentleness. You understand? He has the outer and the inward, because even though I learned martial art from him, I think I always learn how to be kind. Like my father too. I learned how to love from my father. How to be loving from my father.
No, but like, Appa, it shows up for you. Like for you as someone who seems very tough and can seem scary and all of that, but I don't think, like, most people who know, that's like you also have a very kind side, all that. But for someone like me, right, there's no tough exterior.
Yeah.
And then for some people, there is no soft interior. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
Like, there are like the different ways that it shows up.
Right.
And how do you find that balance? What works? Is it just like dependent on you? Like for me, I know I have to be careful about who I let into my life because I don't want to.
Like I have a policy, anybody comes after 3 years, I say hello. They're learning with me. After 3 years, I'll ask, what's your name? After 5 years, I might even have a coffee with them. That was my entire repertoire for the last 30 years. And even then, I make mistakes. It takes me 3 years to even just to be interested in them. And then after that, maybe, hello, what's your name? Okay. Because once you let in, you let in. Once you let in, maybe another way is once you let in, how do you heal out of it? One is don't get attacked, don't get abused. If you let them in, you get abused. How do you heal? How do you wake up and believe again? Do you know most people, by the time they grow old and they lost all faith in life, they look at life and they don't see anything beautiful about it? Because not that life is not beautiful. Everything good about them was made bad. Being kind, being conscious, being considerate, being fair. All of it was made wrong. And when they agree it is wrong, they kind of lose their soul. Maybe another thing is, how do I heal? Maybe I can't defend myself. Maybe some punch will get through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to close end this, close end conversation and end it as though we got an answer. I want to open it up because it's a real human question. You know what I mean? You help somebody and then he cheats you. Then you say, I don't want to help anybody anymore. And these reactions happen very subtly. You're not.
Yeah, but I feel like the people who react like that, right, are the people whose soft spot is so soft.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I feel like when things happen like that, like, oh, I gave this person a chance, or I did this, and then they wrong me, I feel like, well, I still was me, and you acted like that.
You see?
because I know me, and I know I didn't have, like, I knew my heart was pure. I didn't do it I didn't do it with a bad intention. If you want to react in that way, that's not my bad karma, baby. That's not my bad karma.
And maybe you're giving the answer. It's for me to know me, for me to know my intention, then I can survive. There you are giving. So could it be knowing oneself could be one of the ways that I know
But
me?
the thing is, even doing that, though, my self-preservation sometimes is not. The other, don't have, not to be found. No signal. You know?
I guess that's a living challenge, darling. It's a living challenge. Hopefully, the prayer is, I don't lose my beauty, I don't lose my faith, I don't lose my sanity.
Sanity?
Yeah,
Never had that moment in my life.
Yeah. Because we can move in a direction where you can take that much and then one day you say enough. And the enough is not an outward action. You might close yourself up.
Yeah.
You might implode. And what I'm saying is when you implode, you are hurting you, not the other. If you stop being gentle and kind and loving, you are hurting you. Leave the other. The other has managed to get through. I think you're bringing up a real human dilemma. I don't think there's a simple answer. I wish there was a simple answer. I think it's a
case by case analysis.
Yes, madam. Very good. Very good case analysis. Just talking about it, I think it helps. But I think the most important is you got to hold on to you. The best part of you must be kept. And I don't think anybody is worth it for that to be trampled upon. Nobody is worth it.
Yeah.
Because your humanity, your well-being, it depends on it. This episode, we call it Apshy thinking. We shall call it, this episode, we shall call it Apshy thinking.
Let's really not. Apshy thinking the first time in her life. Let's end it there. I think that's a nice place. I mean, this is just the start of this topic, I suppose.
Yeah, we can go through it again. Now, at least we have some orientation. The next episode, we can probably dive and see whether there's more questions on it. It's a good subject. I think it's worth. It's a bit of an extension from restoration, So it's still about restoration.
I mean, I'm going to give it to Miss Gill.
Miss Gill?
She opened her mind. She also
give her one of my books.
Drop this in here.
Apshy, you go give her my book. Give her my book. Tell her from me to ask her to do it.
Let me just drop this in here. She also gave me a very interesting piece of advice, because I was talking to her about this. There's this book called The Artist's Way. It's from the 90s, early 2000s. It's just this way to help you get thinking and creating your art. And they have a lot of steps that you have to do. Do it for a month or something. And one of it is you have to journal 3 pages in the morning. Whatever stream of consciousness, just journal. And then I was telling Gil, I was like, I tried to do it. 3 pages, Nola. Whatever I could write, I tried to do it. And then she said that it's good because your brain is full of all these thoughts and you just empty it in the journal. And then when you go and start to work, whatever, you can actually create new thoughts. And I was like, wow, I never thought of it like that.
Okay. Okay. Very zen.
Is that zen?
Very zen. Okay, let's finish it.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Bye.